About the role of emotional and social intelligence in building strong partnerships. And I would like to introduce our speaker today. His name is Imad Louis, and Imad is Certified Training and Development Professional by the Institute for Performance and Learning Canada. Imad is a senior executive with over 20 years of experience in the financial service industry. Throughout his career, Imad worked with 3 large multinationals and was the youngest training officer to establish a full training academy for MetLife in 1999. Imad holds a bachelor's degree and distinguished designations in the field of training from Canada and the Financial Services Life Office Management Associations in Atlanta, USA. Throughout his journey, Imad had held several capacities, out of which the majority were largely a people's management job. Please help me to welcome Imad Louis.
I'll try.
Those are working too, if you...
Oh, okay. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Delia, thank you so much for such introduction. I'll make sure I forward my resume to everyone so you can help me with a job after this introduction. In fact, I'll try and not use the mic. Is that okay? Does everybody? Yeah, so that probably will be easier. In fact, I'm privileged to be among a group of people such as your good selves. I truly appreciate that helping others in tough times, and what is tougher than looking for a job. So it's not an easy thing. Helping people in such phases and curves in lives is something that is truly great. And you don't only help people, you also help economy and putting manpower in the society, which is something very crucial, not only for our Canadian society, for any society in the world. So I'm really privileged. I'm sure I'm going to benefit a lot from our discussion, and mostly from the well and smartly selected, I would say, topic. Because as Delia correctly said, collaboration maybe is not something new. So everybody can talk about collaboration. Collaboration is a teamwork. It's something that only puts a positive output, putting brains together, experience together. But the challenges of collaborations are what really sometimes hinders the outcome. Today we'll cover our discussion in 3 main building blocks: the power of collaboration, the emotional intelligence and social intelligence, and how to influence the environment and others to probably a positive outcome. Collaboration, by definition, is a teamwork. So you can only expect innovation to come out, leveraging resources, motivation, problem solving. So anybody can keep on going and the list won't end on the collaboration. Shapes and sizes, a lot of shapes and sizes. Face-to-face may be the best, but you can do this through conference calls, emails, surveys. You collaborate with everyone, your client, your funder, your employer. So all this is a very expected, and I would say it's the obvious. And I used to have a boss who tell me never tell the obvious. Yeah, so there is no point to keep talking about what is so good and positive of collaboration. Let's try to peel the onion and see what are the challenges. Besides time, commuting, geography, which is, I would say, a common challenge to a lot of any action that one would want to do. The main challenge that I would say for collaboration is the mindset. Because output is only a product of what we put as an input. So if I step into a collaboration team to address challenges facing employment, without having the right positive attitude, without having the heart in the right place and the mind in the right place, that I would say is a life-threatening challenge to collaboration. And here comes the role of emotional intelligence, social intelligence, interpersonal skills, which is, I would say, there are fine lines between the three, and we will be discussing this. Before stepping into the emotional intelligence, anybody here traveled before to Italy? Okay. So do you speak Italian? No. Do you believe if you speak Italian, your experience would have been better?
Probably.
What about yourself?
To some degree, but I think there's enough of body language, and it's a culture that communicates a lot in gestures.
Okay.
One is tuned into the facial expressions, hand gestures, circumstances, context that it's taking place. I think it is still sufficient to establish communication without.
Excellent. But if you have the Italian language, would it be easier? Of course. Okay. So if I'm going to Italy for 5 days, I would, as you correctly said, as Yelena said, that you can still rely on some gestures, body languages, not only in Italy, in probably some other spots in the world. But if I'm going there to move and live in Italy, I would say it will be imperative to speak Italian, correct? So, to me, emotional intelligence, social intelligence, and interpersonal skills is the language of people. If you are living among people, you need to speak the same language. And of course, there are levels in mastering this language. We'll try and get into these levels. We'll also try and give some tips or exercises or techniques to acquire this, because it's not only good to keep talking about how important it is. We'll try and understand it. We'll try and share some